Good evening, everybody. I'm Brett Fickus, principal at Liberty Middle School. Very excited to have everybody come out tonight. First of all, I'm going to talk about our students a little bit because we have a great band group. I know Mr. Howard is extremely excited for all of our 8th grade students to come out to the high school. And then obviously I work with Ms. Whiteman day in and day out. And just to share a very honest and personal note with Ms. Whiteman, our sixth grade students that are in the band right now, I know I'll be quick back there. But I've worked in education for 20 years now, and I've been around a lot of educators. Mr. Auer worked for me when I was at Heritage, and now I've gotten the pleasure of knowing Ms. Whiteman for the last year and 4 or 5 months. I just want everybody in here to know that your child, you're probably interviewing your child as in band, and Ms. Whiteman is one of the best educators I've been around in my 20 years of doing this. Please get around with that. And I understand that I'm not the first one to sit here and say this about her. She doesn't like the accolades, and some of us don't. I don't like those things myself, but I think the way that the kids are going to perform tonight is going to kind of put a stamp on what I'm saying. Is she pays great attention to detail. The kids absolutely love her, and they're in a positive learning environment every single day when they're with her. Love this lady to death. And at this time, I'm going to hand it over to her. And good luck to all our students. I know they prepared really, really hard for this evening. So let's give it to Ms. Whiteman and her band members. Thank you.
Hello?
Hello.
We're working. I am very technologically challenged. All of you know that. Thank you so much, Mr. Fickus, for that wonderful introduction. I am really thrilled with these students tonight. They know I've had a number of absences the last couple of weeks and months, and yet they've pulled through and are ready for a fabulous performance tonight. So the group you see tonight in front of you first is our 6th grade band. This is a combination of actually 3 groups. We have a morning 6th grade class, an afternoon 6th grade class, and then we also have a 7th grade class that's what I call my catch-up class. These are students who decided they wanted to join band in 7th grade. And so we have a number of 7th graders up here. We also have a few 7th grade helpers. So this is a large group, and we're going to do 3 numbers for you. First is Jingle Bells. That was the first Christmas song we learned how to play, and it basically was our first real band song where some of the students are playing melody and some of the students are not. That's quite a difficult concept when you're first starting out. Our next piece taught them lots of different concepts, including what variations means. You're going to hear the melody, Good King Wenceslas, and then you're going to hear 2 other variations, and each of the variations is very different. There's a little pause in between each one, so you'll know when I'm done when I bring my arms down. And they learned a couple of different time signatures, they learned about eighth notes, and it's a much more challenging piece. So this is Variations on Good King Wenceslas. Well, I guess that second variation was a little bit on the interesting side, but you never know. This group of sixth graders is like the other groups of sixth graders I have in that there were about half of them that actually started last summer. And they are in the morning class, and then in the afternoon class we have students that just started this past August and September. And so to blend them on one rehearsal into a concert is really quite a challenge. And for the second class to catch up to the first and be able to play in that concert is really quite remarkable. I think they deserve a round of applause. Our final selection for this portion is an old standard, Up on the Housetop. you see in front of you is our middle school stage band from Liberty. And for the sixth grade parents, this is probably something new that you may not have seen before. Our stage band's been around for about 25 years. And I started it way back when I was at Wilson as an opportunity for students to learn how to play a little bit of jazz, rock, pop, Latin, all kinds of other varieties of music that they might not normally get to play. Our apologies for the delay in setting up. We usually practice in 4 rows because we can't fit 3 rows across in our band room. So this is the first time that we've tried to actually set up in 3 rows. So we're going to do 4 selections for you. One very important difference about stage band from regular band is you will occasionally hear sections being featured, and you may hear soloists. And the soloists have auditioned through our process, and it takes a lot of courage to be a soloist. In jazz, you are allowed to clap for soloists or ensembles if in the middle of the piece, even if you like what you hear. So our first selection is a Latin version of Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. Just imagine Rudolph took off on vacation to the Caribbean. Our next selection is more of a ballad style piece. Our band is based on a big band style band, but when I first started this, I made the decision long ago to include every instrument that wanted to be in the group. We have had oboes, we have had bassoons, we have had French horns, baritones are out there in the middle, and flutes and clarinets. All because when I was in junior high, our jazz band was limited to the traditional instruments and I didn't get to play. So, I was being a flute player at the time. So I think all kids should have an opportunity to play this kind of fun stuff. So our next selection is I'll Be Home for Christmas. That featured on the flute Aiden Fraley and on trumpet Parker Campbell. We're going to do a little swinging version of Sleigh Ride for you next. Leroy Anderson. That featured on tenor saxophone Jack Smith and on alto saxophone Elizabeth Leach. I always like to thank some folks that are in this group that are a little maybe perhaps taller than the rest. Ever since I started the group, I invited high school students, and as it's continued through the years, these high school students have added so much to our group. They make a connection to these students up to Newark High School Band Program. And so I did mistakenly leave one off the program, and I apologize for that, Trevor Morgan on trombone. But high school students, would you just give away? And I so appreciate you. And we also have this bearded kid in the middle. Thank you, Mr. Allard, for pitching in on trombone, too. All right, we're going to finish our part of the program, and then we'll take another moment to swap up, and we'll be back up on stage with the 7th, 8th grade. This is a rock version, funk version, of Angels We Have Heard on High. Sabrina Wilson on trumpet, Addie Leone on flute, and Claire Schaefer on the drum set. Everybody up. Stand up with you. Thank you. I think we are ready up here. This is the 7th and 8th grade combined. We had one rehearsal to put this together this morning, so they've all been working very hard on this music. We're going to do 4 selections for you, which in itself is a challenge. We usually try to do 3 for Christmas, and I just decided I like them all. So our first one is Let Heaven and Nature Sing. Our next selection is quite famous. Tchaikovsky wrote a piece, ballet, called The Nutcracker, and this is one of the most famous melodies from that. This is going to feature our flute section, and it's called Dance of the Reed Pipes. As far as Mr. Tchaikovsky was concerned, we're calling it Dance of the Reed Flutes. Well, you can't have a band concert without a march. This one has a hidden Christmas song embedded in it, I'm sure you'll recognize. This is Christmas Eve March. Before we do our final selection, I'd like to thank all of you for coming this evening. I know it's a very, very busy time of year, and for sharing your children with me. I've got the best job in the world, and I maintained that since day one of my career, and it hasn't gone away yet. Working with folks like these that grow the way they do and learn to appreciate music is a blast, and sometimes I forget why they pay me to do that. So good job, guys. So our final selection needs a bit of an explanation. We have a very special guest with us. This is the first time we've ever tried to do a piece that required a narrator. And so what this piece is a letter to Santa. And the person that you will be seeing, reading and writing his letter is going to be doing it in between little snippets of Christmas songs that we do. So you will know when the very, very end is. You don't have to clap in the middle, but you might miss something if you do that. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce you to our letter writer. What's your name, little boy?
My name is Brent.
We're so glad you're on stage with us.
Thank you for inviting me to your beautiful performance, Miss Walker.
All right, here we go. Dear Santa, letter to Santa.
Walmart did not have a double X in their store. you too, out there. Dear Santa, my name is Brent and I'm 3 years old. I have been really nice this year. Thanks for the gifts you gave me last December. This year we are under a lot of stress, so I'm ready for the whole family. My big sister, even though I really don't like her, has a bell collection. Can you please bring her some holiday bells? My little brother Jacob slipped in the bathtub and sank his fleet of toy boats. So sad. Can you please bring him some replacements? Mommy is sick and tired of us kids always fighting, even though we really love to do it. She just wants some peace and quiet. Dad wants a real Christmas tree. All of us dads out there knows that cutting down Christmas trees with steel chainsaws and sawzalls is the most fun. He says the fake ones usually end up in the landfill and are not biodegradable. My best friend celebrates Hanukkah, and he makes handmade toys. Can you please bring him something special? Well, that's it. I'm really hot. And I know I'm asking for a lot, but you can do it. After all, you're Santa. And if you have some extra room on your sled, please bring me some Christmas magic. So that I always cherish old friendships, do good deeds, and spread goodwill in the coming new year.
Thank you all once again for coming. Thank you to our wonderful guest star, and have a wonderful Merry Christmas.